The rain was relentless, drumming against the windows of my small Seattle apartment, where I was sorting through case files for my new social work job. My phone lit up on the kitchen counter, and I froze when I saw the name Ethan. My cousin, who'd been more like a charming con artist than family since we were kids in Tacoma. I almost ignored it, but something made me pick up. "Hey, Ellie!" Ethan's voice was all fake warmth. "Just a heads up. I sold that old Mustang of yours. Got a sweet deal, enough to kickstart my tech app. It's for a good cause. My dreams, you know." He chuckled, like he'd just won the lottery. My heart stopped. The 1967 Ford Mustang, cherry red, was my dad's pride before he passed. I'd spent years restoring it, every weekend in the garage with grease-stained hands, bringing it back to life. It wasn't just a car, it was my connection to him, my escape on long drives along Puget Sound. And Ethan, who'd always mooched off family, had no claim to it. "You what?" I managed, gripping the counter. "Sold it," he repeated, smug. "You're always off doing your do-gooder stuff. Figured you wouldn't miss it. Besides, I needed the cash." "You had no right," I said, voice low but trembling. "That car's in my name." "Details, details," he laughed. "It's done, Ellie. Move on." He hung up. I stood there, rain blurring the world outside, fury and disbelief warring inside me. Ethan had always been a leech, borrowing money, crashing on couches, never repaying. But this was theft. The Mustang was parked at my uncle's place in Tacoma while I settled into Seattle. Ethan must have gotten his hands on it there. But he didn't know something crucial. I'd installed a GPS tracker in the car after a break-in scare last year. This wasn't over. I called my friend Marcus, a lawyer in Olympia who'd helped me with Dad's estate. "Ethan sold my Mustang," I blurted. "Can he do that?" Marcus was quiet, then asked, "Is your name on the title?" "Yes," I said. "Mine alone." "Then it's not a legal sale," he replied. "No buyer can claim it without your signature. Send me everything you've got, text, voicemails, anything." I spent the next hour digging through old messages, finding Ethan's casual mentions of borrowing the car for a spin. My hands shook as I forwarded them to Marcus. The Mustang wasn't just metal and chrome. It was late-night drives with Dad, his stories about racing it in the 70s, the way he'd grin when I took the wheel. Ethan didn't just steal a car, he stole a piece of my heart. The next few days were a blur of work and rage. I tracked the Mustang's GPS to a lot in Bellevue, a sketchy used car dealership. I called the dealer, posing as a curious buyer, and confirmed they had a red '67 Mustang, recently acquired. My blood boiled, but I kept my cool. Marcus was already drafting a demand letter, and I wasn't about to let Ethan think he'd won. When I got back to Tacoma, I went straight to Uncle Mike's place. Ethan was there, sprawled on the couch like he owned it. "Ellie," he said, all fake surprise. "You're back early." "Cut the crap," I said, standing over him. "You sold my Mustang. It's not yours to sell, and you're about to find out how bad you screwed up." He laughed, but it was nervous. "You're overreacting. It's just a car." "Just a car?" I stepped closer. "It's in my name, Ethan. The sale's invalid. I've got the GPS logs, the title, and a lawyer ready to bury you. You're not getting a dime." His face paled. "You wouldn't go to the cops over this." "Try me," I said, turning to leave. "You'll hear from my lawyer." Marcus moved fast. The demand letter went to the dealership, and they backed off the sale when they saw the title in my name. The buyer, some rich guy Ethan had conned, was furious, but cooperated when the police got involved. Ethan had forged my signature on a fake bill of sale, a felony. Detective Lopez, who took my case, called a week later. "We've got enough for fraud charges," she said. "Your cousin's in deep." I pressed charges without hesitation. Ethan called, begging, his usual charm replaced by panic. "Ellie, you're family. You can't do this." "You did this," I said, voice steady. "You stole from me. Family doesn't do that." The Mustang was back in my garage by the next month, gleaming under the Tacoma sun. I drove it out to the coast, windows down, feeling Dad's presence in the roar of the engine. Ethan's court date loomed, but I didn't care about his fate anymore. I'd reclaimed my car, my memories, and my strength. For years I'd let Ethan's manipulations slide, but no more. The open road stretched ahead, and for the first time, I felt free.